look at what's going to happen in the 1 year or so from now. It's Independence Day, and I wish everyone, all the Indians, a very happy Indian Independence Day. So, India's astrology chart, you can see here, I'm just moving my screen to the other side. So, we can see India's astrology chart here, and I'll show you that the most prominent area, the seed area in this chart, which was the chart for 15 August 1947, is the Cancer third house prominence. And this Cancer third house prominence, it makes Indians very sentimental. It makes Indians very much, heart-oriented people. So India is a really heart-oriented country. You meet people, they are smiling most of the times. They are willing to help. Of course, things are changing with the westernization, etc., etc. But overall, you will see that a lot of this is about heart orientation, nurturing, nourishing. We love our food. We love our, so you will see that we love our food a lot. You will see that we love our food a lot. We love our movies a lot, because third house is about the movies, and it's a lot of emotional stuff in the movies. People adore the Bollywood and the other film stars which they have in this country. So it's very interesting, and to see this, correlation in the charts. And definitely we love us food, because Cancer is about nourishment, but it's also about we see that there's Mars in the second house, and there are many other combinations. We love our traditional spicy food. Then we love cricket, third house again. Cricket is a big sport for India. So this is indicated in the chart, sports and love for sports and love for cricket, which is a slow man's, gentleman's sport. Okay. And also India's chart, there's a big Saturn influence, which I mentioned. And because of the Saturn influence, we see a lot of poverty. We see a lot of hard life in India. It's not easy living in India, because there's a lot of hardship that people go through. And Saturn is the life lord of India, because India was born during a Shani Mahadasha, a Saturn period. And India being born in a Saturn period, born as in the independence was obtained during a Saturn period. We saw terrible stuff during the partition of India into two countries, India and Pakistan. Also, if you see that Saturn is a separative influence. So India got split into two parts. There was a lot of pain. People were displaced, lot of misery during that time. And we'll come to those time periods also. Then we also see that India is a spiritual nation. It always has a spiritual past, and no wonder now it's come with the Saturn life lord. So there is sadhus, there are people, holy men, there are mystics, there are monks. It's a wonderful place for spiritual sadhana, spiritual practices, the mystical world, and all the religions in India are flourishing. All the spiritual traditions in India are flourishing. It's the land of Advaita, it's the land of yoga, it's the land of Tantra, so many things. And this continues. We see this in our country. We call it a Shani Pradhan Desh. It's a Saturn oriented country. There are a lot of sannyasis, and sannyasis also hold a special place in India. Then now let's look at the dashas, the time periods for India quickly. So I'm not doing a detailed analysis. I'm just giving you an overview today. I'm also writing a book about this at some stage. So keep, stay updated about that. So Saturn period is when India was born in 1947. And then we went through a Mercury period. Then we went through a Ketu period. Ketu period again is considered a tough period, and Ketu period was tough for India because we had a lot of stuff going on, the Operation Blue Star, and a lot of these events which were like really disturbing for the country during that time. And then we went through a Venus period. Venus period, we saw, in the early 90s that we were having this economic sort of positive start to the economy, IT boom, these kind of things started happening. And then, of course, now we are in a moon period. And right now, if you can see here in this chart, we are in a moon period from 2014 to 2024. And this moon period, we are in the moon Venus period. Venus, at the moment, we are in a, we are in a Mercury sub period. So we'll see a bit about this in the upcoming slides. Okay, so let's look at what's coming up for India now in this Moon Mercury period. The Moon Mercury period is till November 2021. It's going on. It started somewhere around 18 June 2020 and going on till November 2021. Educational reforms is something which we have already seen. Financial changes are coming. Land reforms could be possible because Mercury rules education, rules land, rules property, rules finances in India's astrology chart. It also rules higher education, it rules youth, it rules children. So we will see youth and children start playing a very important role in the country during this time. It's also going to bring changes in how people get into family structures, how they look at love, how they look at marriage. All these things also will see a transformation during this period. So we've already seen that the education policy has been announced. We've also seen that there is going to be a lot of financial changes, and we hope they will be good changes. Overall, it looks like a more gentler period compared to the previous sub period of Saturn. So I hope there will be something not so negative in the days to come. Indian economy is set to recover fast as per HDFC CEO Aditya Puri. So there seems to be some glimmer of hope. And also when we look at the Moon Mercury period from a Chandra Lagna perspective, from the moon chart, understanding it more from a psychological perspective, again, we get prominence in the intellectual field, in the field of IT, media, tech. So people who are into advertising, into IT, into media, a lot of new stuff is going to happen. Digital health, all this stuff, and space missions also. Yes, we are going to have, India is one of the countries which has space missions, even though it's considered a poor country. Some loss of face, yes, because of the recent events. Less explosive period compared to the previous period. I'm expecting international cooperation. So yes, we had a bit of a tragedy with quite a big tragedy actually, with people having to walk back to their homes during this lockdown. We saw heartbreaking scenes which were covered more by the international media, and it was really painful to see this. And of course, international relationships will improve in the days to come with the kind of periods that are coming up. And we also look at the country's Pradhan Mantri, who calls himself as the Pradhan Sevak, the Prime Minister's chart. And because he is the ruler, so the head of the family or the ruler's chart is always very important to look at. So let's have a quick look. From his chart, definitely what we see that he has a strong service bent with all the planets in the sign of Virgo, which I'll point out here, which I'm marking here, the sign of Virgo. There are a lot of planets. And there's a spiritual aspect also because it's the 12th house where all these planets are sitting. Ketu is also in the 12th house. So he's been a sannyasi. He's been a wandering monk also earlier. Then there is also an aggressive leadership because he has Rahu in 6th, Mars in 2nd. So there's an aggressive leadership that he brings to the table, non-compromising in his ways, which is also something very peculiar about him. And now let's go to the next one here for Mr. Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, because his chart is very important to see when we are thinking about the nation's future. And he's going through a Venus Moon period. I think it's a Moon Venus period. I've made a mistake. So let me just change that. So it's interesting that Narendra Modi was born during Mr. Narendra Modi was born during a So he was born during a Saturn period, just like India, and now he's also in a moon period, while India is also in a moon period. So he completes age 70 on 17 September, the next month. Wishing him advance birthday wishes. Upcoming 1 year, yes, lot of developments, agreements on the policy front confirmed from India's chart, and in his chart also. Gains on the global front are there. Global cooperation is seen. Though economic situation is a challenge, I think we will receive international help, and somehow I hope that things will not be as bad as they could be. So that is what we can also hope for. And I think I think overall it looks to be a better period than the last 2 years. That is what I can definitely see. India is a Saturn-oriented country, and yeah, in Forbes there was recently an article that most of the people who think they are middle class in India, they're actually quite lower. They are quite they are not middle class, but they're actually poorer than what they think. So India is a Saturn-oriented country. We have to live with that, and we have to do our best, work very hard for going forward. And definitely, we will receive the support, collaboration that we need in the next 2 years. And we will need to, of course, up our spiritual quotient, use our sadhana, use our spiritual strength, and become a beacon of light for the world. All the best, guys. Cheers. Thank you.